Good day everyone again. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and of course hit the notification bell para ma-update po tayo sa mga susunod na videos. For today's tutorial, we are going to continue our topic about parabola. This is going to be part 2 of the lesson about parabola. So let us start. Our parabola may have horizontal and or vertical transformations. Ibig sabihin, kapag yung vertex ng parabola is no longer at the point of origin of the Cartesian plane, medyo may pagkakaiba po sa kanyang equation. Ibig sabihin, kapag may horizontal shift at may vertical shift, yung vertex at hindi na siya sa point of origin, ito po yung standard form of the equation of the parabola. Okay, as we can see, in the first equation, x term here is squared. So, meaning, alam natin na kapag yung x term ay squared, the parabola opens either upward or downward. Take note, yung 4a dito ay positive. So, ibig sabihin, kung yung x is squared, it is either upward or downward, and 4a is positive, meaning we are sure that this parabola opens upward. Okay, take note, yung HK is the coordinate of the vertex, meaning whatever is the value of H and the value of K, that would be the X component and the Y component, or the abscissa and the ordinate of the vertex of the parabola. Okay, let's analyze the second equation. The quantity x minus h squared is equal to negative 4a times the quantity y minus k. As we can see in this equation, x term is being squared. So alam natin kapag yung x term is squared, it either opens upward or downward. Pero kung titingnan naman natin yung coefficient here, it is negative 4a, it is negative, so we are sure that this parabola opens downward. Okay po? Next, we have the quantity y minus k squared is equal to 4a times the quantity x minus h. In this equation, y term is being squared. So alam natin na kapag yung y term ang squared, it either opens to the right or to the left. So ngayon, para malaman natin kung to the right or to the left siya, titignan natin yung coefficient na 4a. Since coefficient 4a is positive, alam natin that this parabola opens to the right because it is positive. The coefficient is positive. Okay, next, the last one, we have the quantity y minus k squared equals negative 4a times the quantity x minus h. In this equation, again, y is being squared. So therefore, alam natin na maaring the parabola will open to the left or to the right. Pero kung titingnan natin yung coefficient 4a here is negative. So alam natin that the parabola will open to the left. Okay? Okay, let's take a look at these equations. Mapapansin natin yung x at saka yung h ay lagi po siyang magkasama. Ganon din dito, x minus h ay magkasama, x minus h ay magkasama, meaning yung x term at saka yung h term ay magkasama. Ganon din naman yung y at saka yung k ay lagi din po siyang magkasama. Bakit po? Kasi yung h is the x coordinate of the vertex of the parabola. Ito po yan. Samantalang yung k is the y coordinate of the vertex of the parabola at ito po yan. Again, kung alam natin yung value ng h at saka ng k, we will know the coordinate of the vertex and we can locate it in the Cartesian plane. Okay, let's have an example. Let's try the quantity y minus 2 squared is equal to 8 times the quantity x plus 1. Okay, yung first thing na dapat natin i-analyze, saan ba dapat siya nag-open? Okay, let's take a look at the term which is being squared. Alin ba sa mga variable ang may squared? Is it x or y? In this example, y term is being squared. So alam natin na kapag yung y is being squared, yung parabola either will open to the right or to the left. Tama po? Since 4a here is positive 8, its sign is positive, so sigurado tayo that the parabola will open to the right. Y is squared, either right or left, 8 is positive, so sure tayo that this parabola opens to the right. Okay, next. How about the vertex of this parabola? Nasaan dito ang h at saka ang k? Alin dyan ng h? Yung 1 or yung 2? Alam natin na yung h ay laging kasama ni x at alam din natin yung k ay laging kasama ni y. So alam natin yung h ay manggagaling kay 1 at yung k naman ay manggagaling kay 2. Ayan po. It is shifted to the left 1 and up 2. Yung x plus 1 dito, let us set that to be equal to 0. Ayan po, x plus 1 is equal to 0. And then for you to be able to get the value of x, that would be negative 1. Ganun din, yung y minus 2 doon will be set to 0. It is set to be equal to 0. And to get the value of y, we transpose this to the right, it will become y is equal to 2. So, yung x component is negative 1. Ayan po yan. Yung y component naman is positive 2. Ayan po yan. Yun po yung vertex. At yun po yung coordinates ng h at saka ng k. Ito yung h, negative 1. Ito yung k, positive 2. Alam natin yung h ay kasama ni x. Positive 1 yan. So, ang kabaliktaran yan is negative 1. Alam naman natin yung k ay kasama ni y. Since this is minus 2, so alam natin k is positive 2. So the vertex is negative 1, 2. Okay, so let's locate this one to the Cartesian plane. Ayan po. Negative 1, positive 2. 1, 2. So here is the vertex of the parabola. And since this parabola opens to the right, so ang magiging itsura ng parabola natin ay paganon. Okay, next. How about the focus of the parabola? How will we be able to know the focus of the parabola? Alam natin yung focus is A units. Ibig sabihin, di ba sa equation natin we have 4A at yung 4A na yon is equal to 8. So ang gagawin natin, we are going to equate 4A is equal to 8. Ito po yun. 4A is equal to 8. And for you to be able to solve for the value of A, you are going to divide both sides of this equation by 4. So 4A divided by 4, that will be A. 8 divided by 4, that will be 2. So yung 4A is equal to 8. Makukuha natin yung value ng A to be equal to 2. So meaning, if we already have the value of A, alam na natin kung saan yung location ng focus. So what we're going to do is to count 2 units. Since alam natin yung opening ng parabola na to is to the right, meaning yung focus is at the right of the vertex. Kung ito yung vertex, magka-count tayo ng 2 units to the right. 1, 2. So nandyan po yung focus at ang kanyang coordinates ay 1 and 2. Okay? How about the length of the latus rectum? Alam natin na yung length of the latus rectum is equal to 4A. So, ibig sabihin, kung ano yung value ng 4A, in this equation, ang value ng 4A ay 8. Ibig sabihin, yun po yung haba ng line segment na latus rectum. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung 4A is equal to 8. Yung 8 na yan is actually the length of the latus rectum. And since from the focus, magbibilang tayo ng 4 units going up and 4 units going down. Kasi nga, yung length ng latus rectum na ilalagay natin dito, yung length niyan is equal to 8 units. So 4 going up and 4 going down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ito rin naman dito, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ayan po. Okay? Yung coordinates niya is from here, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 1, 6. Dito naman sa kabila, we have 1. So ayan po, 1. Negative 2 kasi downward, 1, 2. So that is negative 2. So since we already have the endpoints of the latus rectum to be at 1, 6 and 1, negative 2, we can now trace the curve or the graph of the parabola. But before that, we still need to locate the directrix. If the focus is A units away from the vertex, ganun din dapat yung directrix. Yung yung length ng focus, yung distance ng focus from the vertex is A, yung distance din ng directrix from the focus, from the vertex is also A. Ayon. So kung this vertex here, yung distance ng vertex kay focus is 2 units, dapat yung directrix, nandito rin siya sa opposite direction, 2 units. Magdodraw tayo dyan ng vertical line. Ayan po. At ang equation ng vertical line na yan is x is equal to negative 3 kasi from the point of origin, we will count 1, 2, 3. So along x, it is at negative 3. So yung equation ng directrix is x is equal to negative 3. Okay po? Since we already have the directrix, the focus, the vertex, and the ends of the latus rectum, or the endpoints of the latus rectum, we are now ready to trace the graph or the curve of the parabola. Ayan po siya. Okay, next. What if we were given the focus of the parabola at negative 2, 2, and the vertex is at negative 5, 2? If we draw a picture, we can figure out the equation and anything else we need to know. Ibig sabihin, so, ang first step na gagawin natin dito is that we are going to plot the focus and the vertex of the parabola in the Cartesian plane. So let's start with negative 2, positive 2. Ito po siya. Let's count 1, 2. This is negative 2. Positive 2 going up, 1, 2. So, ayan po siya. Yan po yung focus ng parabola. And the vertex is at negative 5, 2. So, we will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At ito po yung 1, 2. So, negative 5, 2. Ito yung vertex, ito yung focus. Yung focus ay nasa kanan ni vertex. So, alam natin na yung parabola will open to the right. Pag ganun siya. Kasi yung focus ay laging nasa loob ng parabola. Ayan, sabi, the focus must be inside the parabola, so it must open to the right. Pag ganun po siya. Next. Since the parabola opens to the right, so we know its standard form of the equation to be at the quantity y minus k squared is equal to 4a times the quantity x minus h. Okay, what will be the next step that we need to do? We are going to substitute the value of this. Since this is the vertex, alam natin this is hk, yung negative 5 is h, yung positive 2 is k. Ayan po siya. So we are going to substitute the value of h, which is negative 5, and the value of k, which is positive 2 at this equation. Bakit itong equation? Kasi alam natin yung parabola opens to the right. Ayan, substituting these values to the equation, we will get y minus 2 squared equals 4a times the quantity x minus negative 5. So, minus negative 5 magiging positive yan. So, that would be x plus 5. The focus is A away from the vertex. So, meaning A away from the vertex. So, how many units is the focus from the vertex? Let us count. 1, 2, 3. So, A is equal to 3. So, from that, we will know, or we can now substitute this value, which is equal to 3, dito kay 4A. Ayan po. Okay, so substituting that value, we will get the quantity y minus 2 squared equals 4 times 3. Yung 3 ay yung A, times the quantity x minus negative 5. Yung negative 5 is yung H. Yung positive 2 is yung K. Okay, simplifying this one, we will get y minus 2 squared equals 12 times the quantity x plus 5. Yung minus negative 5, naging x plus 5 na siya. Okay? The equation we are given may not be in standard form and we'll have to do some algebraic manipulation to get it that way. Ibig sabihin, what if we are given an equation like this? An equation of a parabola which is not in the standard form but rather in general form. So ang gagawin natin, we are going to manipulate this equation algebraically in such a way that we can transform this into the standard form. Since y is squared, ayan po, y is squared, we will complete the square on the y's and get the x term to the other side. Meaning, yung y term here is squared. Ibig sabihin, magko-complete tayo ng square kay y. So, ang gagawin natin, y squared yan, plus 2y, yung x, transpose muna natin to the right by using the addition property of equality. So, ang mangyayari, we will transpose this to the right, magiging y squared plus 2y plus the missing term, since we are going to complete the square, yung negative 6 when transposed to the right side of the equation, that would be equal to positive 6. And then, bakit may plus dito? Kasi whatever is the number that we are going to add here in completing the square should also be added to the right side of the equation to maintain the equality. Okay, now the question is, how are we going to complete the square? How are we going to find the third term? Okay, let's take a look at the coefficient of the middle term. Yung coefficient of the middle term is 2. Ang gagawin natin dyan, i-divide natin siya by 2. Meaning half of 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Tapos yung quotient na 1 will be squared. 1 squared, 1 times 1 ay 1 pa rin naman. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So ibig sabihin, magpa-plus tayo ng 1 dito. And since mag-a-add tayo ng 1 dito, dapat mag-add din tayo ng 1 dito sa right side of the equation to maintain the equality. Okay? Okay, so let's take a look at this trinomial. This trinomial is a PST or a perfect square trinomial. We are going to factor this out into square of binomial. Paano po yun? Ganito lang po siya. Square root of y squared is y. Square root of 1 is 1. The middle term is positive. So therefore, maglagay tayo ng plus dito. Y plus 1. And since this is perfect square trinomial, yung factor niya is square of binomial. Ulitin ko, square root of y squared is y. Square root of 1 is 1. Plus siya kasi yung middle term dito is positive at lagyan natin ng quantity squared. Okay? Yung right side of the equation is x plus 1, x plus 1 pa rin siya. Okay, so in this case, we have the quantity y plus 1 squared equals x plus 1 squared, and this equation is already in the standard form. So from this, we can easily identify the value of h to be negative 1 and the value of k to be negative 1. Okay? So pag nakuha na natin yung value ng h at saka ng k na parehas negative 1, gagawin natin, we have y plus 1 squared is equal to x plus 1. Alam natin yung opening niyan is, since y term yung squared, either to the right or to the left. Pero yung coefficient dito, may nakikita ba kayong coefficient dyan? Di ba wala? Pero it is understood to have 1. Okay? So since 1 yan at positive naman siya, alam natin that the parabola will open to the right. Okay? How about the vertex? Katulad ng sabi ko kanina, yung vertex is at hk, positive 1 yan, so yung h is negative 1, positive 1 din to, so yung k is negative 1. So yung coordinates ng vertex natin is negative 1. Saan galing tong negative 1? Dito kay h. Etong negative 1 na isa dito kay k. So eto na po yung location ng vertex ng parabola. Next is the focus. How can we locate the focus? For A, may nakikita ba tayong coefficient? Di ba wala? Pero alam natin that it is understood to have positive 1 to be the coefficient here. So yung focus natin, which is 4A, is equal to 1. So 4A is equal to 1. To solve for the value of A, divide both sides of the equation by 4, we will get A is equal to 1/4. So from here, we will count 1/4 unit to the right. Kasi the parabola opens to the right. So 1/4 unit to locate the focus. Ayan po siya. At yung coordinate nun, pag binilang natin siya, is at negative 3/4 and negative 1. How about the length of the latus rectum? The length of the latus rectum is 4A itself, and that is 1. So kung 1 yung length ng latus rectum, 1/2 going up, 1/2 going down. Kalahati ng 1 is 1/2. So 1/2 going up and 1/2 going down. Ayan po. So that's the end of the latus, the end points of the latus rectum. At yung coordinates niya is at negative 3/4 and negative 1/2 dito. And this one is negative 3/4 and negative 3/2. And now, the directrix is also 1/4 unit away from the vertex to the left. Ayan po siya. So yung equation niya is x is equal to negative 5/4. So we are now ready to trace the graph or the curve of the parabola to be like this. Okay, so that ends our presentation for today. Again, thank you for watching. Good day and God bless everyone.